Regit, please don't spend 35 minutes talking. I ain't trying to be rude. Well, I appreciate your aim not to be rude. It might end up that we have that anyway, this stream, because actually last time we got surprisingly close to victory, and I basically sort of know what I need to be doing. So we'll probably end up just getting it done and then just talking a bit. And also, streams are live, they're live streams. You know that, we all know that. Which means that they're not edited pieces. I think the benefit of something being live, and generally I sort of really dislike live programming. I mean, what's known as live programming, when it's filmed in a sort of studio production-y way as if it's live, I really dislike that. And I feel like it just doesn't need to be done, and it detracts from any value the program could have had and makes it pretty bad. No, I think the only reasons you're going to broadcast something live is if it's a sort of live important event, like a big important address to the nation, like coronavirus briefings, or it's a big sporting event like the Super Bowl or a Formula One Grand Prix, which, it would be nice to actually be able to see live, but that's another matter. And I don't mean in terms of coronavirus, I mean in terms of broadcasting rights. So live events are that, and for the ability to interact. Certainly when you have little shed creators like myself, although luckily I have a room and not a shed, where you can communicate with the chat live. Those are really the only reasons I think you should ever do something live and not edit it and pace it and make it as good as you can in post-production. So a lot of these streams is talking, and there's a reason for that, right? I value the talking to you and the conversation. If you want tightly edited together, depending on your point of view, if it is or not, Battle Cats, you watch a video, don't you? You don't watch a stream for that. Yeah, sure, we play it, but I'm sure you're aware that the reason I do Battle Cats is to get an audience in to talk to. So yeah, I do play it, but that's not my primary aim. My primary aim is to talk to people. If I could set up a stream saying, right, I got a cup of tea, let's have a chat, and people would actually turn up to that in decent enough numbers to keep the stream flowing. I know some people very kindly say they'd be dedicated and coming regardless. If there were enough people coming in and just sort of like, no, I'll stay for this, I enjoy a chat, I would just chat with people, right? Because this isn't... Live streaming is not a platform for the content. It is a platform for interaction. The only reason that you'd ever, in my mind, do something live is so that you can do something that is only possible when live. Interaction. So that is what it's mainly about. And not the playing of the game. So sure, I will be playing the game, and who knows, like maybe more than once in this level. I might try and do it without items, see how we get with that. I might stretch out a little bit and then introduce a rich cat if we need to by the end of my energy. But it's not about the levels I'm playing, it's about the interaction with you. And playing the levels is what videos are for. Life lesson with Regit. I'd love to call that a life lesson, but it's just my opinion. I mean, some people love studio programs and as live, and dreadful things I think called magazine shows, which are just sort of things like chat shows basically, where you have a host on an armchair or whatever, and then some guests on a sofa, and it's filmed as if it's live in a studio way, and so the timings are completely random and either usually go too short or too long, and so things are compressed or expanded past or below what they ought to be in the most enjoyable form, and it saps the life out of any decent entertainment, and I thoroughly despise magazine shows. And as part of making stuff like that is part of my degree, and I've been involved, at least very briefly in an introductory sense, in making stuff like that. And apart from being bad at it, I realise that I really dislike that kind of television. But it's ultimately only an opinion. Some people love that stuff for some reason. But I think, you know, if there's no reason to have it live, i.e. it's not some big important event that needs to be live, or you can't interact with people, or you're not planning to interact with people, don't film it like it's live. That's just a scummy thing to do. That's like me filming a video without any edits in it. You know, like saying, hi guys, so yeah, I'm going to be doing this level. Just pause, hang on, just let me wait while I think of what I'm going to do next, because, okay, well, look, in the meantime, I'll just show you this thing on another camera angle. Oh, look, the camera's moved in shot when it shouldn't have. Oh, we cut to the wrong one. Let's cut to something else. Oh, but I can't do anything about that because we're filming it like it's live. It's ridiculous. I hate it. If it doesn't need to be live, don't make it like it's live. Anyway, but again, that's just an opinion. I can't really call that a life lesson. Right, what happened to David? I remember when I used to stream with him. David's still about. David baffles me with how amazingly successful they are. Like, flipping great at everything. And, you know, my computer owes a debt as well, because it's a 2013 Mac Mini with an SSD installed in it, courtesy David, which is lovely. So, yeah. We love David, and of course, I'm indebted for my music and Netflix subscriptions to David, so we love David. But I spoke to him recently. He said, do you want to come on a stream? They're like, nah, it's a bit stressful. I'm like, yeah, maybe it is, you know? I mean, stressful things for me are interacting with technology or going outside. But, stressful things for other people are different. David cult. More justifiable than some other cults, I would argue. Although we're not setting up a cult. The referencing to David in Doki Doki was because back then it was David was more fresh in my experience, because obviously David, mate, and I all went to the same secondary school, but since then I've had college and I'm now at university, so it's been a long period of absence. So yeah. You know that meme where it's like, every day we stray further from God? Well, not necessarily comparing David to God. Depends on you. Actually, no, that people just say that I'm setting up a David cult if I say that. But every day we, whether we want to or not, which we don't want to, we stray further from David, which is very sad. But yeah. Oh well. Right? Oh well. So, I'd like to reacquaint myself with Flowlight the stream, and I screenshotted what David said. David, brilliant. This is another problem, unprofessionalism in live programming. You know, if it was an editor thing, I'd be like, no, hang on, what Lucas IV said. But now I'm just going to have to try and make that funny that I just said that David said it. He didn't. That was just the last train of thought, and it's edited its way onto this one. I was going to use the actual term, but I've forgotten. There's something called a ripple edit, and then there's another different type of edit. I've forgotten what that one is. Shame on me. Shame on me. Anyway, just for future note, spawn the shadows earlier, but maybe alternate between them. Like, spawn Darked when you hit the base and use Esgal when Darked dies. Also put the shadows on top row so you can spam camera better at bottom row. So, we've got some slot rearranging to do. Right? So, put the shadows on the top row. Yes. So you can spam camera better and bottom row. Ah! Excellent, you see, and we'll put pizza next to it. That's good stuff. Okay, so, Reggie, I just wanted to say sorry for coming out as rude. No, you didn't. I understand your concern. I just wanted to make it clear that actually doing the level isn't my ambition. If anything, I wanted to explain to you why you might not be satisfied by this if you've come here for levels, right? Because that's not the primary aim of streaming for you. It's more for communications. DJ says every day we stray further from our Twitch subscriptions. Shameless plug. Lol. I mean, I must be honest. I really don't get what DJ is saying. Like, I don't know. Like, if DJ's saying it was bad that he subscribed or good that he subscribed. I mean, it was good that he subscribed. But then last stream he said that he didn't really want to, but he did anyway. Still confusing me. Anyway, the point is, DJ, my Twitch Prime subscription has renewed, I believe, today. So make sure you're streaming at some point. I don't know when you are streaming, but I will, as promised, I will drop my Twitch Prime subscription onto you. I've given one to Mini MG, and you shall be getting one soon. But yeah. Put Manic Eraser in the last slot so you don't send him out accidentally. Ooh, well, that's a good one. Ooh, I like that. Yeah. I like that. Good idea. Good idea. Regit, heckin', I'm saying that our Twitch subscriptions are going to expire. Are they? Sorry, DJ, I don't even understand that. Haven't you just subscribed? I'm sorry, but like, I don't know. You're tripping. You're tripping me, man. You're tripping me, as all the cool kids say. Hello, fellow kids. At Regit, are you against seed tracking? Mostly, yeah. Because, you know, it's a game, right? All of the currencies are fictional, and, you know, you should only grind for them if you really want to. And so then seed tracking it just sort of takes the fun and randomness out of the game, as well as it being cheating, right? I approve of one context, seed tracking, and that is when you pay actual money for a platinum ticket. I think it's justifiable to track then, because if you're paying actual money into the game, I think you should be able to get exactly the unit you want. Sure, it's your choice whether you put money into it or not, but I think actually if you're putting your own money into it, you kind of do have every right to get exactly the unit that you want. But otherwise, it's fictional currencies, right? There's just why would you seed track? You know, does the game really matter that much that you have to cheat to get ahead a little bit? Oh, there's coffee grounds in the bottom of my tea. Why? Oh no, that's not coffee grounds. It's just I think that's just tea that was on top of the tea bag. Why? Why? What? Why is there tea on my tea bag? It's supposed to be within the tea bag. Blah. Blah, blah. 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 Excuse Stan. Anyway. Regit, I have a little question. Do you think either Cameraman will become too strong or Jiangshi will become useless if Cameraman gained 100% survival on true form? I don't know, like, maybe both? I mean, probably not both, because if there's a whole stream of enemies, Cameraman isn't going to be useful, or as useful. But yeah, and also it would be far too broken, right? I mean, Cameraman's pretty good as it is. Right, well, there's a little brief interlude in conversation, so let's give the level a go. We might as well. We're not mid-conversation, so let's give this a try. Hang on. If I go... No. If I do that, does it sound... Brilliant. Noises in the ear have broken the music, but I much prefer the cheering of bits. We've got... I've got to count this. One... Because I didn't read the... What? Oh, dear God. They're individual bits. I can't... Right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 20. Right. Okay, good. Thank you very much. Wowie. It's cheered us 20 bit. Oh, it says on the panel on the side. My good God. Why did I count those bits? Am I actually useless? Right, let's put you back there. This is professionalism at its best. Better. So, anyway, I was saying, if I go, no, Is that sounding kind of in sync to you? Because I've had to, and it's really quite surprisingly difficult, try to say no, 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 no ahead of when I hear the song. Except whenever I look back at these stream archives, when I sing no, 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 exactly as it is sung in the song, it sounds like I am, very noticeably behind the song, which is really annoying, and I don't know why it happens. So yeah, me singing it before no, 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 which was again very difficult, made me sound like I was in sync. So my mind just goes like Shia LaBeouf. It says no, 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 no. I mean, the song caught up with me several times in trying to do that, but it's really annoying. I don't get it, and maybe it's a technological thing that I ought to actually understand, but why? Why is the song as being broadcast as, I can see the wavelength representing my voice going up and down exactly as I say things. So why is my voice relative to the song suddenly not in sync with what is happening right now? Doesn't make sense. Anyway, we'll pause that and address the 20 bits cheered by Matt6478. Thank you for the bits. Right, yeah, those are the bits addressed. Okay, right, so darked earlier, right? And we're just darketing. Darked is what we doobly do. Probably would have been more sensible to freeze when darked appeared, but oh no, we're not meat shielding. Hang on. Right, we won't meat shield from this point on. It's okay. Just cameraman and pizza. And that was a good suggestion, I reckon. Keeping them confined to here, because then I won't be tempted to whack out the old Manica Razor so often. It's pretty spicy. What isn't spicy is like immediate death. That's pretty bad. We don't like that quite as much. No, 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 no. As it were. What can we do though? Not much with a limited work account like this. But if we went straight into it and just won, that wouldn't be fun. And I'm not usually in a position where I can say we're pretty close to victory, but last time we were, right? We were pretty close. So, we'll play this out and see how we do. Interesting. I mean, I know people say don't use glass while the Scissoroo's there, and obviously that is true, it didn't work. But why? Why didn't it work? That just seemed a bit weird to me. Anyway, get frozen, my dudes. You are gonna maloose, or not, I'm gonna maloose, because the volcano light, it got me twice. Which is a bit rude. Oh well. Okay. Oh, a reward is waiting for me. I'm going to turn the screen off in case it's an obscene message from Ponos. Like, you disgust me with your very existence. Stop trying to change Growing Strange or something. No, it's fine. Ponos weren't insulting me. It's alright. Glass hits Scissoroo even if it doesn't look like it. Well, I assume that must have been the case, right? But why? It's not in front of Kappa. Like, blatantly not. Seems a bit silly to me. That's just it's a bit silly, isn't it? But it's fine. I am perfectly content to not put Glasscat out when Scissoroo's around. It just seems a bit weird that it's, I don't know, like jumping behind Kappa. I mean, that is the definition of bad AI, right? It's seeking out an enemy that it can't have an effect on. Bad AI, plainly. And you'd think that the true form would get it clued up and knowing what it was doing. Right, okay. What else is on at the moment? Where's Lizard? Is Lizard tomorrow? Maybe Lizard's tomorrow. Ooh. Siege of Hippos on. We'll do that afterwards if we get this done. Hello Reggae, how's it going? It's going alright, actually. Yeah, I started the day off with a little bit of work. And then actually, most of my day has been spent watching Derry Girls. I thought I'd seen a couple of episodes of it. I was pleasantly surprised by it. Thought I'd watch a little bit more, and then watched a lot more. And so I finished that off now. For now, I mean it's not all over, but yeah, that was relatively good fun. So I spent most of the day enjoying that. I said to myself, I did. Colm, yes, you'll enjoy that probably. Yeah, so I did. And last night, although probably not advisable because it took me into the early hours when my bedtime had just started to get sensible. What was it? Oh yes, I started watching Pyrocynical because actually, like some of its edits are very funny. And I watched this video of his because his long ones I always quite enjoyed. Like Petscop and Cuphead and these little things, that was the basis for making the long thing about Growing Strange was the long sort of Cuphead video. And so I watched this one about this YouTube series that I didn't know existed, and I'm sort of I feel worse for knowing it exists, even though it was a fun video. So apparently, Liza Koshy, who I only know by name and nothing else, has a sort of terrible sitcom, and Pyro was just going through it using quite impressively sort of like analytical in terms of film and TV words, right? At one point he was talking about how he thought the handheld camera gave the aesthetic a more believable sense than very sort of static, steady camera angles that made it look forced. And I was like, Pyro? Ah, maybe he's done like something actually creative and he's not just some kind of toxic commentary person. I thought I was quite impressed by that. I quite enjoyed that. And so that was actually quite good fun. I enjoyed that. That was 50 minutes that went by quite quickly. But yeah, as much as it caused me concern to see in this program that I'd never heard of before, the amount of, I believe Pyro called it white bad, man bad. There's a lot of that. It was quite fun to watch Pyro point that out. It was enjoyable. And then after that, as it went even further into the early hours, I occasionally talk about Formula One, and luckily, while the racing hasn't started yet, I think it starts in July, with no fans in attendance for obvious reasons. They've been putting full race replays on YouTube, which is nice of them. Do you know what else is nice? We've got some noises in the ear from Bolting Blazy. Do you have Baby Gal? I got Baby Gal for a roll on Uberfest. It's not even guaranteed. Uberfest is never guaranteed, but that was... it's a good idea to use your rare tickets on Uberfest, because you can never guarantee an Uber from your rare tickets. So you should use them when an Uber has the highest chance to be got, which is in Uber and Epic Fest and stuff like that. But congratulations, and thank you very much for cheering 100 bits. And that little purple icon, we haven't seen that in a while. Thank you for that. And so, during that time, Formula One time, they'd uploaded a race that was sort of very, very close to my heart. Well, here we go. Do you know what else is really close to my heart? A subscription with Twitch Prime. Thank you, Honda2904, for lending your Twitch Prime subscription to me. Very kind, thank you. Tar. And so yeah, a race that is quite close to my heart. As you know, I try to avoid fandom mostly because it makes you very protective over somebody, and I've certainly realised that in Formula One. And I really, really wish that I didn't support anyone, to be honest, but, you know, I do. Anyway, the race, to set the scene. Earlier in my childhood, back when the Formula One was free to air on the BBC and I could watch the races live, and it was a fantastic experience. Brazil 2012. A fantastic race. I started watching that. The memories, the great memories. Back when the person I support was, well, you know, doing a lot better. And Brazil 2012 was a heroic story of a fight back from a terrifying, not in a life or death sense, but a terrifying for championship standings event at the start of the race, back to winning the entire world championship. That was a lovely race. Close to my heart, that one. So I'm glad that's been put up there. It's really nice to know that some people don't care about my heartfelt story, and by really nice to know, that was a sort of biting sarcasm. I am actually a little bit annoyed. You know, I will get to answering other questions, but I was telling a story that related to what I'd been doing with my day. So, you know, if you don't care about that, at least just say nothing, right? And another thing is, I do say, repeat your question if I haven't answered it, and that's fine. But you don't need to repeat it quite so often. I mean, I think the case in point is that you've asked the question twice in such short proximity that it's just you asking the question and the next message is you asking the question again. Assume that I've seen it and I'm getting on to answering it, but obviously you can repeat it, just maybe not that often, right? So, what we'll do is we'll give the level another go and then get back to these questions, which I enjoy answering it. I mean, I don't know if everyone's sort of ganging up on me with that question, or if they're taking the mick out of it constantly being asked. I prefer it to be the second one, because otherwise I feel like people really don't care about what I have to talk about and just care about what I think about ice cream. In which case, I won't answer the question. It will just be an enigma, and suck it. Right, is it in healer we're looking for? In special, right? I'm sorry, Reggie, I'm going to go play soccer with my family. I get it done early, I'll come back. Well, don't worry, you know, family time is important time. I hope you enjoy yourself. No, I still don't know if people just seriously want me to answer that question or they're just taking the mick. But it's, you know, ever so slightly. Oh my good God. Oh. Kotatsuka! Ah! I must admit that was manufactured. I deliberately fell off my chair. But anyway. Look at that. DJ nipping troublesome Chawsey in the bud with an instant timeout. I love it. Chawsey has subscribed at tier 1. Why are you doing that, Chawsey? Why are you doing that? Thank you for doing that. I mean, we're assuming this is Chawsey, right? It could be someone called Chawsey who's not Chawsey, but even so, the generosity would be the same. Thank you very much for, like, shelling out, like, money. Like, what's that all about? Money? To subscribe to me? Little old me? Little old me? It's just little old me. Oh, Stan, it's just little old me. Oh, look at that. You know, crikey. Old Chawsey himself. Little old me. It's just little old me. Wow. Look at that. Yes, there we go. I really hope that reference will be picked up. Thank you. Yes. Sort of in answer to a question I was next to get onto about Gravity Falls, I pretended to be Gideon from Gravity Falls, saying little old me. I like that. I like that that's been picked up on. In answer to that question, I haven't finished it yet, but I'm still enjoying it. And I don't know. I still feel like I can most relate to Old Man McGucket, which is what I said before. Do you know what I say now, though? We've had Kappa bits for Kappa Junior, 200 of them from DZ1002. 200 bits. Crikey, Gromit. Look at that. Crikey. Look at all this generosity. It's not Chawsy, it's a fake. I don't know, I mean, does it matter? You know, it's still a subscription, right? That's still kindness. Anyway, Reggie, have you seen Little Britain? That's a good question. I like that. I will come on to that. That's a good question. It has a very easy answer. Anyway, but I noticed, right? This is something I just realised. Oh, crikey. People either say that I'm depressed, if I just am even the slightest bit not exuberant, or I'm drunk if I am exuberant. There's sort of no middle ground of acceptance. I'm just one of those two. I've just realised there. Anyway, that is not great, but what is great is ReggaeFan420, which is such a brilliant name, has gifted a tier 1 sub, a gift sub. We love gift sub. Gift sub is beautiful generosity. Clap for that. Excellent stuff. Thank you for that. Some lovely generosity there. We love that. We love that very much. Excellent stuff. Yeah, that's very nice. I was looking for Healer, wasn't I? But just didn't find it. Do I have it? No? Is it in rare? Oh, what's happened there? Oh, God, it's all going down now. Crikey. Look at that. Squirt_daddy_ has subscribed with Twitch Prime. Thank you very much for swinging your Twitch Prime subscription my way. Clap, clap indeed. Clap, clap for that. Clap, clap for that. I mean, who cares if we can't find Healer? I don't. Do we even care about you? No. No, we don't. Who even are you? No one. That's who. It's not going to be in the depths of, like, fungi, is it? Where is the flipping thing? Do I just not have it? Is that what it is? Like, just, use the search. Yes. Brilliant. Search button. I mean, I even made update notes about that, right? No, wait. I can't do it via a quick, can I? No. Yes, I can. Right. Well, there we go. Well, there's a reason I couldn't find it, then. Well, there we go. Okay, we'll just have to do it as is then, won't we? Fair enough, fair enough. That's fine. We'll just hashtag be a bit hydrated. Slurp. Right. So, let's answer that question I was excited about. Have you watched Little Britain? Yes, I have, and I like it. Well, I especially like it in the first series. It, you know, it tends to get a little bit more vulgar as it goes on. I'm thinking series 2 and 3's Bubbles DeVere as a specific example of that. But for the most part, it is really rather funny, and you will see me occasionally making reference to Lou and Andy. So I say, "I want that one. Yeah, I want that one. Yeah, no. Yeah, no. Yeah, no. That one. You know, things like that. We're genuinely gonna like. Okay, we're not, but that was close to losing there. But yeah, no, I have seen it, and I have enjoyed it. It's good stuff. It's good stuff indeed. Would recommend. It's very sort of very out there, right? Very out there indeed. As a program. Why not Jiangxi in place of cameraman? Oh no, you better run. You better run pretty quick. The chat is gonna like lynch you for saying that. Cameraman is a very useful unit here. Something to do because it's not a meat shield, so it's not gonna trigger Kappa as much. And also because it's heckin' powerful, right? It's got that absolute power. Glass cat action, pretty good. Yeah, no, they don't want they don't want that got rid of. It's a powerful, versatile unit, and you don't want meat shields here. Is something I'm not going to say I've worked out because I haven't. It's something I've been told to accept as a fact because it's a fact. We don't want them. Disgusting meat shields. Get them out. Okay, well that's just wow. Okay, all that damage we took at the start really shortened that run. That was an interesting occurrence. Right. Sure. Okay. See, I was upgrading my worker cat there. I think that's why it didn't go that well. I think that was why. Get 'em, boys. So yeah, no, I am still very much enjoying Gravity Falls. I mean, I was trying to convince my mother that it was brilliant. She was like, "No, it's not." I'm like, "It is though. It's brilliant." And you know, amazingly, right? Like while I was watching it, like old Grunkle Stan, who is of course a legend, he said basically exactly what I was trying to communicate. In a sort of excellent self-referential section. Character says to him, "Why are you all keyed up to watch a kids show?" Stan says, "I'll have you know that it has a big mystery element and loads of jokes that go over the kids' heads," which apart from being epically self-referential in such a lovely way, without being too on the nose, just very clever. Also, it was exactly the argument I was trying to make to Mother, but she wasn't having any of it. She's like, "It's bad." I'm like, "No, it's really not. It's really not bad. It's like the opposite of bad." Like, what's the opposite of bad? Like good? You know? Anyway, I couldn't convince her, but yeah, I'm enjoying it anyway. Not that I think anyone's interested. I'm just here, you know, chatting to myself, trying to regale people, but, you know, I'm like, Wob. I mean, you know, Wobs are fun when I thought I was organising the Wobs, but I wasn't. Maybe I was a mug to think so. The Wobs have taken over, and just whenever this song's on, people will just wob. And the stories that I tell don't matter. So I just wanna run away, run away, run away, run away, run away, run away. Et cetera. Flipping sake, honestly. You lot. You just don't care, do you? You just don't care. I'll just leave you to it. I'll just go somewhere else, you know, make a cup of tea, sit down. Read a book. Watch my Formula 1 race that no one equally cares about. You just wob to yourself and be like, "Reggit, who's that?" I'm just saying Reggity Wob in chat. Fine. Leave me then. Fine. I'll go away. That's okay. Part of that is feigned, but part of that is the case. Like, I am a little bit annoyed that, I mean, you know, obviously people find different things interesting, but it's a bit sad that my personal tale is something that nobody cares about. It does, you know, hurt me in the feels, but I guess there's nothing I can do about that. Right, let's get darked out immediately. I mean, I guess I remember having this problem before. There was, you know, I couldn't find anyone who was vaguely interested in Formula One anywhere, which is weird because, you know, it's hugely popular. You think at least somebody around here would be interested as well, but no. It's the age-old problem that Johnny from Friday Night Dinner has as well. Oh, poor bloke. Right. Okay, this is going not so well. I think, you know, eventually we're just going to have to accept that a rich cat is one of those necessary things. Although, we've, oh no, them flipping blockers. We've got some epic action courtesy of Shadow Gao about to happen. So who knows? Who knows what events will occur? Probably the events where I die unreasonably. And nothing good happens. Takedown video. Oh crikey, it's 9:51. Didn't see that coming. That was pretty quick. Oh, Jace is here as well. Hello, Jace. Big Jace off the streams. People just like being toxic to each other about Balrog Cat. Nobody cares what I'm talking about. Oh, we have a saviour. At Reggit, I'm interested in F1 just since like the previous week. Well, it's a good time, you know, counterintuitively, because there's no Formula 1 on at the moment, but that means that Formula 1 management, stingy sods, have been, you know, making a bit more of it freely available to watch. You know, all these race replays appearing. So make sure you enjoy that, and thank you. You know, definitely talk to me about it. I am starved for Formula 1 attention. I just want someone else to be interested and care. Like, who are you a fan of? You know? Who do you support? Who do you want to win? What year's car did you think was the most interesting looking? What was your favourite? You know? Do you miss the amazing engine sounds from the early 2000s? Oh, I do. You know, things like that. Just talk about it randomly, even if no one else is talking about it. Please, somebody else involve me in this discussion whenever you feel like you want to, right? And now, fine, I will answer the ice cream question. But also to the people who aren't interested, like, you know, don't, just talk about something else. That's fine, but I asked to try and find at least somebody who was interested and encourage them, these people, to just talk about it whenever they feel any vague compulsion to talk about it, because I'm lonely with my hobbies here. Nobody else seems to care. Brazil 2012, why isn't that stirring up emotion in more people? Thank you. I'm excited about Ground Effect return in 2021, 2022. Yeah, no, like usually, I'm all against the science, right? No, hang on, that sounds like I'm a 5G conspiracy theorist. What I mean is that I'm usually not liking science because I find it confusing. But some of the Formula 1 engineering science is amazingly interesting, I think. Briefly, because I am going to tell the people who don't know about this. ground effect is a phenomenon. I'm going to get this wrong, aren't I? Where you create a very small space between the ground and the bottom of the car. That uses something called the Venturi effect to basically almost create a vacuum underneath the car. Like, most of what's on a Formula 1 car creates downforce, force that pushes the car down, usually by differences in pressure. But the Venturi effect is almost like completely like a massive Nunu from Teletubbies, it's the Hoover, on the bottom of the car going down. And it was introduced like during the 80s and then just banned because it was too good. Because the FIA love to ban things that make cars faster, which is a gripe. Anyway, they're bringing that back as part of the cars, which makes sense. You know, if they're keeping them roughly the same speed, which, you know, I think they should get faster, but whatever. You can afford to have smaller engines and just make use of stuff like ground effect that can make them faster, which I think is amazing. I love the idea that that's going to be introduced. I'm really excited for ground effect. There we go. There's a fantastic question. I love this one. What's your favourite Formula 1 car? You see, I have a very specific answer to that one, and we will give this level a go with Rich Cat before the end of the stream, or at the end of the stream. Might have to be silent. Well, exactly. Super speed airflow under the car, creating low pressure. Exactly. Like, that's another thing that fascinates me, right, briefly, before I get onto the question that I was going to answer. Diffusers, right? Never understood why they existed or why they would have any kind of interesting effect, and I think it's really interesting how they do. They are just sort of like little upside down ramps at the back of cars that open up the floor to the air, and somehow that creates downforce, and that's amazing. The reason why is because it's creating as big a space as possible to contrast to the very small space underneath the car. Air loves that, and it's like, I'm having some of that normal pressure air out the back of the car, and it's like quicker than usual, as fast as it can possibly go, right out the back of the car, because it desperately wants to get out the back. Because the best way to explain science is to give motive to things that are just not alive, but it's just much easier to do it that way, right? The air is like straight out the back. And I'm amazed by this, right? Just by creating a sort of upside down ramp, air rushes out more quickly out the back of the car, and because of that, airflow under the car is faster, which creates a bigger difference between the airflow under the car and over the car, which creates more downforce. And don't get me started on exhaust blown diffusers, because that was there in 2012, I think. Brazil 2012 again, right? I think, you know, diffusers are fascinating. I thought, how could that possibly help and create downforce? It's just a hole at the back of the car. But it does. Airflow. Ah. Anyway, love that. Thank you, finally, somebody being interested in Formula 1, right? So, to answer the question, what are your thoughts on the Gravacci IRA? I mean, I don't know if this reflects badly on me, but I hang on. I am using... Yeah. I don't actually know what you're talking about. I'm sorry. I give a sort of more broad perspective on my favourite cars, and that's a year. And that is almost undoubtedly 2007/2008. What they were a lot narrower back then. There were these sort of little, narrow, small, kind of lethal-looking cars with loads of these winglets on the side of them. They were to direct airflow where the aerodynamicists wanted them to go, and it made the cars look mental and dangerous and just designed for speed in every possible way. And I think, you know, the small package and all the winglets and the made them look so exciting and amazing. I think they're the best looking best looking Formula 1 cars ever created. I loved them. They were great. So that would be my answer to that. Do you think your love for cars comes from a love for physics? Oh god, no. I don't have a love for physics. Science, I do not like science. I do not have a grasp of it. And actually, you know, my understanding of the Formula 1 stuff is sort of abnormal. usually science concepts completely elude me. But, you know, actually a lot of the Formula One science I find very interesting. But largely, no, definitely not a scientist. I used to be very interested in cars. Was interested in Formula One off the back of that. Wasn't interested for, I mean, since like, I don't know, 2014 to 2018, which is incidentally when the person I support started not winning anymore. And then got interested again just when, you know, their career took an even worse downward spiral, which makes me very sad. But nonetheless, finally, so glad to find people who will talk to me about Formula One. You see how interested this has made me? We don't have to talk about it all the time, but, you know, if you have an area of interest, make it clear that you have that area of interest, because it might be my area of interest as well. Finally, Glasscat hits Kappa, hurrah. And, you know, if it is, then we can vibe about it, as the cool kids say, and we can talk about this stuff and find mutual interest in it. It could be really interesting and brilliant and fantastic, right? And that's good. Finding these areas where we're all intrigued. Why am I losing? Ladies and gentlemen, why am I losing? This isn't good. This is like the opposite of good. This is like bad. I thought we were going to sort it out. I usually only put "let's sort out" in the title if we're actually going to sort it out, but we're not sorting it out. We're losing. Why? Why are we losing? Why? Why is this worse?